Hello powerful one, welcome to this edition of Inner Growth with Osezuah Elimihe. Today let us take a look at some energies that actually deplete us rather than add to us. Now remember that each time we express a feeling, we are actually sending out energy from ourselves into the world. And when we talk about into the world, we mean into people, into events, into circumstances, and into environment. That is what we are doing each time we express emotions. There is a clear difference between a feeling and an emotion. A feeling is an information signal telling us that there is an activity taking place on our inside. It is an indication of an already existing action that we have put into motion, sometimes in the past. All right, that action is rerunning itself. That's one. The second one about feeling is that a new action is about taking place in the system, and your feeling comes up to let you know that. It could come by way of positive feeling, which means you like the event that's about happening. The second one is that it is negative. You don't feel good about it. You are not comfortable with it. It means that something negative is about happening. These feelings, when they are happening to us, they can feel familiar or they can feel totally strange. The familiar ones, we are so used to them, we just surrender to them and say it's one of those things. It's my nature. But it's not your nature. It is simply saying that an action at the mental level is happening, and that action is not going to perpetuate your life as it is now, that when it is familiar. It's an action that has been happening over and over again before it's repeating itself. Or it's telling you something new is about happening that will change your life, either for good or for bad. So it comes to you as a bad feeling and you react against it. You say, this is not good. I don't like this feeling. Now you have not taken any action. You are just saying that this feeling is X, Y, Z. Okay, you are running commentaries on that feeling, but that does not mean it is going to change. The fact that you feel that the feeling is not good enough does not change it until you take a step against that feeling. And it's not for you to fight the feeling, it's to look for the thought that is generating the feeling, because every thought is a mental action. It's a reality generator. Like we have always been saying, use positive affirmation to transmute that particular feeling, to take your attention away from the thoughts that is generating that feeling by creating a new thought, so that that new thought will generate for you a new feeling that is positive, that is conscious creation. You getting it now? That is how we run our lives. That is how conscious people run their lives. That is one. But you see, when the feeling comes, as you go into a process of affirmation, you are generating an energy. And that energy is being put into motion. The purpose of this is this: because that thought that generated that feeling is generated by a belief, it's actually an emotion potential. As it sends that feeling out, you sense the feeling. Your response to that feeling becomes an emotion. The same way your response to what somebody is doing physically in front of you is also an emotion. What does that mean? Emotion has been defined as energy, E, in motion, M. Emotion. Energy in motion. Whose energy? Your energy. What is the content of energy? Energy is the generator of reality, which is what thoughts actually harvest. A thought is a seed, okay? It's a seed of reality that is powerless in itself. It has to harvest the fortuitous environment of emotion for it to flourish. But if you deny the thought any form of emotion, thought will stagnate and eventually die. In order for it to get that emotion from you, it sends a feeling to you. The feeling is the seducer. Okay? It's a warning that if you accept it the right way, the situation is destroyed. But when you accept the feeling, it means you are generating positive emotion in line with that thought. Which is to say, If the thought is negative, your emotion towards that thought that says I accept it becomes positive emotion. But the emotion that says I don't accept this feeling, and then you go on to start creating an affirmation that is contrary to that feeling, becomes a negative emotion against that feeling, which is positive in your favor. What are we talking about? A lot of the time, a thought is generated within us, and they come to us as feeling, and then that feeling comes like shame, it comes like anxiety, it comes like fear, it comes like hate, desire, the desire to have something, to be with someone, something, okay, to be somewhere. All of these things, they are all emotions at the time you surrender to them. Emotion is a way of saying, yes, I have chosen to create this. Now, when you have an emotion that comes with shame, for instance, you did something, or you couldn't do something, or you refused to do something, and then your background, which is your belief now, generates a thought that says, this is very, very wrong. You should be hiding. You should just hide because this is disgraceful, this is disgusting. Now, it is your belief that is interpreting your action or inaction. What you should do is to not allow that particular suggestion to work. Is for you to now go and take an affirmation that directly destroys that thing. Life is good with me. All things that I do, they are experimental. If I do not get it right, it does not define me. If I get it right, it is beautiful. It also does not define me. I have a right to take actions as many times as I want. Or I have a right not to take any action. I learn on a daily basis because I am a student occupant of this planet. Therefore, any mistake I make does not define me in the terms of shame or anything. You make it clear, I am a worthy person. I am worthy of divine love. I am worthy of the love of the universe. I am worthy of the love of my peers. Because the emotion that comes with shame is an emotion that says that you are unworthy. It's an emotion that says that you are not good enough to get. You are not good enough to belong. You are not good enough to be with. You are not good enough to have, to feel. So you have to destroy that negative emotions by positive affirmation. So let's make it very clear. The thought that we have is the language, is the interpretation of experiences by our beliefs. And it comes by way of a feeling. The feeling is us sensing the presence of that interpretation. Our response to the feeling becomes the emotion by us investing. It can be an emotion that goes to destroy the purport of the thought, or the one that goes to accept it. Right? Now, whether we like it or not, we are creating affirmations every time. Most of our affirmations are silent affirmations because we already know what it is. Don't run your life on old knowledge. If the life hasn't been as beautiful as you want it to be, earn yourself a degree in new knowledge by using auditing process to checkmate every thought that is running in your system. So negative emotions are not to be allowed a space, a foothold in your life. Emotions like fear, shame, anxiety, anger, hatred, all of these things should not be allowed any foothold in your life. When you feel them, go into positive affirmation that contradict them. And in so doing, you are building your life on the basis of the conscious. Because our beliefs, they are affirmations already. Now they are generating energy guzzlers to us to say, we already agree that when you commit an offense, when you err, it means you are undeserving. It means as the world has put to hold you down in this universe of shame, blame, and naming. Don't accept it. Change a new style because you are new to some of these experiences. Mistakes are bound to happen. Mistakes are learning curves for you. They are not things that call for punishment. This universe is a place of trial. Don't let your attempt bring you down. A lot of us have bought into this idea that this is the real thing. It is a game we are involved in. So do not make it your real life. So what I'm saying is very simple. Don't glorify your sins. Don't glorify your mistakes. Resolve to be a better human being. Resolve to make better decisions henceforth. But don't allow your past errors to lock you down. Don't lament your past, and don't gloat and glorify your evil past. That's what you need to do. And then open up to new possibilities. Every day there are fresh opportunities to grow better. Have no deal with the mind in that area of shame. Have no deal with any negative belief. Accept a belief that is positive, and that way you open up to new vistas of life, because life is new every day. A belief locks you to a particular style of life. Every day there are fresh opportunities to grow better. It is yours to attain. Thank you. Hananaye,